itself back up, although a little bit of a retreat yesterday. Our diesel prices were at $2.90 per gallon in this country, although certainly weather-related events relative to refineries and other sorts of things can have a fact. It really is driven much more by the international demand, particularly in China and India in terms of their economies and the demand for fuel. So that one's staying relatively flat and would summarize, but obviously within budget. Second,
before you move on that topic, I would like to suggest that we look again at hedging on that. You know, we did 2 of those last year, and although it might have appeared from the outside looking in that one of them didn't work, nonetheless it still allowed us to be able to budget at a flat level and know that we had a not-to-exceed price.
The stability for us, obviously the most important thing for a budget as volatile is to be able to have the stability, the predictability of it. We will take another look and I'll ask Beth to be able to do so, and we'll have both discussion at the Finance Audit Committee as well as at the full board.
Yeah. Okay, proceed, please.
Next is that we are seeing some improvement, not worsening, on ridership. January ridership, there were 7.9 million trips taken on TriMet buses and Max and West during the month. Is down about 2.6% compared to January of 2009. The trend continues with Max ridership up, which is really tied to a large degree of expansion provided for by the Green Line. But the ongoing recession, high unemployment is obviously still impacting bus ridership. What we are seeing are figures that are flattening out rather than in the steep decline that we've had. I think, as you all know, the fact that this region had at its deepest spot 57,000 fewer jobs than we had going into it. That's compared to the 2001 recession, where the region was down about 30,000, so almost twice as many job loss in this period, obviously directly translating to lower payroll tax revenues. It's more than just, obviously, the jobs. If people are, in fact, either having furlough or not working as much overtime, or maybe going from full-time to part-time, they still may be employed, but are still earning less, and that is reflected as well. But as I indicated, we are seeing that it appears to be flattening out, although down slightly. It's just the steepness of the decline. We at least would like to hope that that means that we're really at the bottom of that trough. The real question mark is how fast does this region come back out of that economic setting. Next, we had last week a groundbreaking. It's on a project that was funded by the federal stimulus dollars. It was at the Merlo Fuel and Wash facility and the building of a new lift facility there. What we have had is it's a $13.5 million project, again funded by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act dollars. It creates 115 jobs, 39 subcontractors, with 10 of those being minority contracting firms. We've always joked that the Merlo Fuel and Wash current facility, if there were really a strong wind, it would probably go down. It hasn't been quite that bad, but it's been on the list for replacement for approximately 10 years. But every time there's been a budget crunch, we've had to put it on hold. It fuels and washes 111 of our buses that we pull out of that Merlo facility every day, and obviously very, very important. So that upgrade is taking place. Second, although we have leased space from the Clean Water Services, Washington County, the old Unified Sewer Agency of Washington County. They have a building right next to our Merlo facility. We had leased space there for our lift activity on the west side. They are needing that space, and so as that lease expires, we need to be able to find a new space for the lift facility. We are, in fact, as a part of this project, building a lift building right there at the Merlot facility. So, all in all, the event was nicely attended with a number of elected officials from that area, but it really is about using those stimulus dollars to both build essential service, infrastructure for that we need, but also be able to put Oregonians back to work that were not had not been or were about to be laid off. We last night had our first open house relative to the effects of the budget cuts. If you remember, we're down about $27 million shortfall this coming year, the budget that will be in July 1st, and you will be actually needing to adopt that budget over the next few months or the next few months. What we always do when we're having to talk about service cuts, something we hate doing, the last thing we won't ever have to do in transit, but as we have cut much more deeply in any non-service related area, with about 85% of our total budget in the service area, there's just no way not to get hopefully to that service. We start that process, that public process, by having open houses, having a series of open houses, another one tonight, where it's a chance for people to come in and really learn about what's being proposed, to be able to talk and ask about whether there are any alternatives, how can they get around, and so on. It's really information providing, and the ability to be able to circulate around the room that was here as a chance to be able to really learn. Next comes the actual public hearings, and board members Van Beveren, Lerbach, and Williams, at least, maybe Sue, you attended or not, but attended some of those hearings last year. It's the same process. That is where there is a formal hearing process that allows people to be able to put on record their comments. They actually took a number of the yellow cards and filled out comments last night, and will, I'm sure, during these open houses. But that public hearing process will begin, will really be in the early April period, and then ultimately coming back to you. We obviously all this time try to be able to find different ways to be able to accommodate the need to be able to reduce the budget, but at the same time to be able to meet our riders' needs. And it's, I think, been a real testament to our service planning staff and others that they've been able to make accommodations that have met both of those needs, hearing from specific people about specific problems on their service. So, wanted to be able to address that.